Hello everyone, welcome to part 12 of my reboot speedrunning tutorial of Rayman 1. Long overdue, but finally picking it up again, and we'll get through the second half of the game, and maybe I will also redo all the previous levels as well afterwards. So Mr. Sex has two possible routes, the easy version, which is just doing the level as normal, and the harder one, which gets the cages in a different order. I don't recommend this strat, however, if you first start out, because it involves a damage boost that is kinda hard to get and will require you to do clips. So for the normal strat, just run right here and Rayman will jump on his own. You can try to get this live here by jumping and helicoptering as well. Here you can try to aim your jump so you hang directly on this bottom platform. While moving up though, and when facing left, try to be as far left as possible so you don't hang on to the ones above you. You do the opposite while facing right. You can either jump all the way up and do this next part like this, run off the slippery slope, walk off to get to the cage, and then at all costs avoid running jumps until you're on the bongos. This is because we currently have speed stored of running off the slippery platform, and I'll get into more detail about that later on. You can also try the more optimized strategy like shown here. So a regular jump onto this little bongo platform, then do another running jump from the last few frames of this platform to activate the speed storage. You will then land on another bongo platform where you will do another running jump as late as possible. This time, however, we will helicopter to get as far as possible. And it is okay to get hit by this lightning, don't worry. Turn around here and grab the cage. Pick up the P orb if needed. While falling down here, stay to the right, because you don't want to be taking this photographer. We will do a dead abuse later to get out of this level quickly, and if we take this photographer, we will return back here. Doing this dead abuse skips an entire boss fight, so avoid this photographer. This next part isn't that easy and is the reason why a lot of people prefer doing the harder route, including myself. I will go over this route later. So run right here, and as soon as you cross this gap, you want to face left and start charging up your fists. You want to let go around this part here. And after letting go, you want to be holding jump and right. Doing this will make you jump all the way to the cage without having to use the chocolate balls. If you let go at the wrong time, you might get hit by the notes or lose your speed completely. You will have to move back to the left to build up speed to try at least get to the sparkles to spawn the chocolate balls, because you can't spawn them by just jumping while stationary. So now I will explain this harder strat. We do a running jump here just after the incline. Press helicopter as soon as you hit this platform and cancel it immediately. Hold left and run, and you want to be turning right again just upon hitting the peak of this platform. Follow this up by a running jump right and turn left in midair to get a damage boost on top of the cloud. Proceed to get to the cage here and grab the P if you want. You can grab it without losing time like this. This is where you need to clip downwards and get the cage. Like I said before, I don't recommend this route for beginners, but you can always try and see how it goes for you. Next, just run left and try to do a clip here. If you can do the clip, you kinda have to pray you don't get hit by this fairy here by staying as far left as possible. Crawl underneath and get the cage in this way. If you do get hit by the fairy, proceed as small Rayman and get the cage like this. It is normally faster to do this part as tall Rayman, but it is not worth it in this case, since waiting around at the ferry to become tall Rayman again takes way too long. If you don't manage to do the clip at all, you do the section like this. After getting the cage, you just drop down here to the right, and we'll try a clip again here. This clip saves a bunch of time and is relatively easy to do since you can try it at so many different areas. You can also opt to try to get 2 clips in a row by already moving left after getting the cage like shown here to save a couple of seconds. Depending on where you clip, you may want to be pressing right while falling down, so you get damage boosted to the left by the nodes. If you want to play it risky and save a few seconds, you can try for the clip on this cloud here. However, you will lose time if you don't get it within a couple of tries. Next, to get past this green boy, you have to do a running jump punch. Make sure to do it close enough to him. Then do another one to get the cage without losing your speed. Now this part is pretty cool. Remember how I said earlier I'll explain it later? Well, here we go. So this is speed storage. You can store the speed you get from jumping or running off of slippery slopes or swinging off of rings and use it later on. In this instance, we will be setting up the storage on a slippery slope. First, get hit by the anti-toon and jump just before this cloud part. We get hit here on purpose, because then we get pushed back to the left and are able to get more speed out of it. Then wait on the right side of these symbols and get hit by the spiky ball. Right after, you run right and try to jump off the last few frames of the symbols. It is not frame perfect, but you will break the storage if you jump too early. If you rather not do this jump, or if you jumped too early, you can choose to just stay on the symbols and set up the speed storage on the rings later. Try to land on the cloud, and from then on, don't let Rayman do his rolling animation anymore, so do a regular jump here and grab the rings. For this part, if you jump late, you can reset your horizontal momentum and manage to fall straight into the dead zone without needing to walk off of the platform. If you don't get the horizontal momentum reset, walk off the edge and don't run off, since that will make Rayman roll and will break the storage. You will need the speed storage for the next level. Here is a clip on how to set up speed storage on the rings. So anyway, to recap on this speed storage, you set it up on rings or slippery platforms, and you use it again by doing a running jump off of the last few frames of any event. An event is a platform you can jump on but can hang on to, so like symbols, little bongo platforms, clouds and plums. If you set up the speed storage towards the right, you can only use it towards the right, and vice versa. And make sure to never hit walls, because doing so will also break the speed storage. So now you see why we didn't get that photographer, since we use a dead abuse here to get all the way back to the start of the level. This makes us able to skip the Mr. Sax boss fight. Unlocking the final level only requires all the cages to be broken, and therefore skipping this boss is an easy time save. So now we make our way over to Moskitos Nest. Before you ask, yes, the speed storage is still active, even on the world map, and carries over to other levels. It even carries over to a new run if you would set it up before resetting your game. Be careful with that though, because that might lead to an invalid run. So after entering Moskitos Nest, it's important to once again do a regular jump on this plum. Then do a running jump off of the last few frames, like always, grab the vine. However, if you fail to grab the vine and die, you still have speed storage, so you can try again after dying. Sometimes you will not have enough speed, which means you didn't get enough speed while setting up the storage. You can either do this old plum strap here, or you can go to Anguish Lagoon and do that level before coming back here. I will show a clip of that later. So take some hits on the way to the left here, because we are setting up a dead abuse. If you want to play risky and save a couple of seconds, you can try to clip here, which will avoid that dead abuse. In that case, don't take any hits on the living stones here. If you do the dead abuse, try to be holding down before you get hit, so you skip the dying animation. After that, grab the cage and go to Anguish Lagoon. So in Anguish Lagoon, you move right and hover over this gap. Try to punch as late as possible without hitting the hunter, then immediately duck. If timed correctly, this should make you get the cage like shown here. After that, you can just hold left and run, because you will always take a damage boost towards the left anyway, If you don't manage to get the cage, wait for the hunter to start charging up his pistol and jump punch him and get the cage. You can also opt to take the life. Next, jump on this platform and do a running jump punch to get directly on the plum. Then jump to the right, and after you get up, you want to hover past this plum to punch the ring. Then you can choose to speed lock to save a few frames here. Next, land on this tree and hit the cage from the left of the end sign. If you still need to get that Moskitos Nest cage, here is a clip of setting up speed storage in this level. After all of this, we are done and can enter Pink Plum Woods. And with that, I gotta say thank you for watching this video. Leave a like if you liked this video. Feel free to ask any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next part.